Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will be learning about non-standalone versus standalone 5G network. So in the previous video or the previous session, we discussed the basics of 5G, introduction to 5G, what is 5G, why we need 5G, and how it is different from the other legacy networks. So we discussed that the speed and the latency in speed, 5G networks offer significantly higher data rates, potentially reaching up to 10 gigabits per second, though real world speeds might vary. So this is far faster than 4G networks, enabling seamless streaming of ultra high definition content, faster downloads, and instantaneous cloud access. When it comes to latency, one of the standout features of 5G is ultra low latency, potentially as low as 1 millisecond. Lower latency ensures almost real time response, which is crucial for tasks like online gaming, video conferencing, and operations requiring instant feedback. And the next comes is increased capacity. So 5G networks are designed to accommodate a substantially higher number of connected devices simultaneously. As the Internet of Things, that is IoT ecosystem, grows with myriad devices from smart thermostats to connected cars needed to communicate, this increased capacity is of paramount importance. Network flexibility, that is 5G introduces a concept of known as network slicing, allowing operators to partition their networks into distinct virtual slices tailored for specific purposes or customer requirements. Each slice can be optimized for different levels of speed, capacity, and latency. Then we have broadband applications. Beyond smartphones, 5G capabilities are set to benefit various sectors. For instance, like healthcare, automotive, agriculture, entertainment. And also we have infrastructure and deployment. Like unlike previous generations, 5G relies on a denser network of small cells in addition to traditional towers, especially in urban areas. The reason is that some 5G frequencies, especially wave bands, millimeter wave bands, have a shorter range and are more easily obstructed. Hence, deploying 5G requires considerable investment in infrastructure. Then we have frequency spectrum. 5G operates across a broader range of frequencies from low band to high band. While low band frequencies provide broader coverage and better wall penetration, high band frequencies offer the blazing speeds often associated with 5G but over shorter distances. Then we have global connectivity. 5G aims to provide universal connectivity, ensuring not just urban areas but also rural and underserved regions get high speed internet access. Agenda behind this session is we're going to end up learning non-standalone, standalone, and standalone versus non-standalone. So at least we will have the basic idea and the difference. We will be able to differentiate between NSA and SA by the end of this video. So let's get started with the non-standalone network, non-standalone 5G. So what is NSA? From the name itself, you can see that 5G non-standalone mode is a technology that allows 5G to be deployed using existing 4G architecture. This technology allows carriers to provide 5G coverage in areas where they don't yet have the necessary equipment in place to build out a fully fledged 5G network. So here on the screen you can see you have non-standalone versus standalone. So non-standalone, here it is using the complete 4G architecture plus 1G node B is added. Here this is yellow, is the just the yellow line represents just the control plane. Here control plus user plane, control plus user plane, and here also it's just a control plane. And this G node B is again connected to the 4G core network. This is how the non-standalone works. Also, we have several options, so we'll be looking into those options in the further sessions. Right now, we'll go a little bit detail into the 5G non-stand alone. So in deployment of the 5G network is built on top of the existing 4G LTE architecture as infrastructure, as I said. So this means this 5G new radio NR relies on 4G core network, as it is relying completely on this 4G core network for some of its functions. So in non-standalone mode, 5G connections are built on 4G core network, this 4G core network with 5G NR, with 5G NR, new radio access nodes connecting devices to the network. This setup allows for data speeds that are faster than those of 4G. So as you can see here, two node Bs are serving, that is E node B and G node B, when it is having more resources faster, which is helping for higher data rates. Of course, it will work better than the 4G, right? It is, we cannot say it is the original 5G with a 5G core network, but yes, it is providing a better data rates as we used to get in 4G. Like unlike we used to get in 4G. So, but not as fast as those of full 5G network. So, non-standalone mode was developed to give carriers the ability to roll out 5G coverage quickly and cost effectively. Here, the already deployed architecture is being used. So of course it will be cost effective. No new architecture has been deployed. So as we had the legacy core networks, uh, they are making use of that itself in the non-standalone 5G network. In areas where a full 5G network is not yet available, carriers can still provide 5G coverage by using non-standalone mode. This allows them to provide faster data speeds to their customers without having to invest in the equipment and infrastructure needed for a full 5G network. When a carrier is ready to deploy a full 5G network, they can upgrade their existing non-standalone mode setup to a standalone 5G network. This can be done by replacing the 4G core network with a 5G core network and upgrading the radio access nodes to 5G compatible equipment. 5G non-standalone mode is a great way for carriers to provide faster data speeds to their customers without having to invest in the equipment and infrastructure needed for a full 5G network. This technology allows carriers to quickly deploy 5G coverage in areas where they don't yet have the necessary equipment in place to build out a full 5G network. C. Standalone Standalone SA, standalone 5G network. Globally, there are over 1 billion 5G connections across the fifth generation of wireless communication standards, including 5G standalone version. While most of these 5G connections are supported by 5G non-standalone networks that rely on 4G LTE networks to operate, wireless carriers are increasingly deploying 5G standalone technology, which is considered true 5G. Ultimately, 5G standalone will drive new use cases and unlock the advanced capabilities of 5G. 5G standalone is an implementation of 5G that solely uses a 5G core network, meaning it has no dependency on 4G LTE network control functions for signaling and data transfer. At scale, 5G standalone will deliver lower costs for wireless carriers, a better user experience, and support new use cases. 5G standalone is a new mobile network architecture that is not dependent on existing 4G infrastructure to facilitate communications. Instead, 5G standalone networks are built with 5G infrastructure across both the radio access network RAN and the core network, coupled with cloud native principles such as virtualization, containers, container orchestration, and microservices. In turn, 5G standalone networks are more flexible, scalable, and efficient in their use of network resources, which leads to a better end user experience for consumers and lower costs for wireless carriers. And let's move on to uh, differences between NSA and SA. So the main difference, I can say, the biggest difference you can see on the screen is NSA and SA is how each mode provides 5G. NSA uses a 5G RAN as well as 4G LTE core, whereas SA is end-to-end 5G network with both 5G RAN and NR core. So their methods of deployment determine how each mode supports the 3GPP defined NR specifications. Main difference between NSA and SA is NSA anchors the controlling signal of 5G radio networks to the 4G core, while the SA scheme connects a 5G radio directly to the 5G core network. And the control signaling does not depend on the 4G network at all. NSA, as the name suggests, is a 5G service that does not stand alone but is built over an existing 4G network. Standalone, on the other hand, allows completely independent operation of a 5G service without any interaction with an existing 4G core. The major difference between 5G standalone and non-standalone is in the core network. Specifically, 5G NSA involves laying this 5G RAN over the existing 4G LTE network, whereas 5G standalone requires a new 5G packet core network. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you have found it useful. Hope you have understood SA and NSA. We'll be discussing the deployment of NSA and the architecture of SA in the coming sessions. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to share with your friends, and also to keep me motivated, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.